Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily Freybler. So today's video, I'm going to be testing out the new e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I love the original e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. It is one of my favorites. So I am trying them both head to head to see what I like about one or the other, or like the differences of the two. I'm going to talk about all the claims and show them to you, covering dark circles and blemishes. I can't wait for you guys to see this, and I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of content. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started with the video. All right, let's do this. So first I'm going to go into the claims for the different concealers and like the different looks. So this is the new concealer. This is their Hydrating Camo Concealer. So this has, and I got the same shade for both of these so we can see if the new one oxidizes like the old one does. And immediately I see a shade difference in the tube. I don't know if you guys do, but these are both medium sand. And this is the original Camo Concealer. It has a black lid versus this one that has a white lid. They're the exact same shape and everything. And the Hydrating Concealer has has white writing instead of black. But I want you to see these are both labeled medium sand. I hope you can see that and also see the difference in the shades. So I'm really hoping they don't look crazy different, because I was planning on doing one on one eye and one on the other. So I'm going to read the claims of the original Camo Concealer, and then we will see how they compare to the new one. So the original is a full coverage 16-hour wear concealer featuring a large doe foot applicator to conceal, correct, contour, highlight for flawless skin. The highly pigmented formula is lightweight, dries matte, and won't settle into fine lines or creases. It's ideal for all skin types. So this is what the wand looks like on the original, and I'm assuming that the wand is going to be the exact same on the new one. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. But now I'm going to read the claims of the new concealer, because this is the hydrating version. So I would assume obviously it's going to be more hydrating. So this one is, our Camo Concealer just got better. The new lightweight full coverage formula doesn't flake and gives your skin a boost of hydration for a satin finish instead of a matte finish. Camouflage those pesky spots and under eye dark circles with this high coverage, hydrating, and long wearing concealer. So they do not say 16-hour wear in this concealer. Not that I wear concealer for 16 hours usually, but it's kind of interesting, the difference. So they even have this little graphic, which I will try and put on the screen for you guys here to show the difference between the two. Number of shades in the 16-hour Camo Concealer is 26. And I guess they came out with 8 new shades, which I had no idea about. The number of shades in the hydrating one is 25. They both are full coverage. Okay, so the original says it's matte. The new one says satin. The drying time on the first one is very fast drying, which I totally agree. Like, you have to put it on and then like blend it out right away, or else you're definitely going to like have spots where, I don't know, like lines and stuff. It's kind of interesting. Whereas the new one, it says there's time to play for like it to dry down. So that's really interesting and kind of nice, because I like that I could put my concealer everywhere I want it and then blend it out. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like working really quickly. The wear time on the first one, so the original says 16 hours, like I said, but the new one says all day, which I'm like, well, what does that even mean if you specify for the first one, you know? This is the interesting thing. You know how you see the difference in shade right here? The original one definitely does oxidize, and a lot of people were complaining about that when they were finding their shade. And they say that in this little box, it says shade matching. The original dries darker and match by box and swatches. So you definitely need to check that, where the new one says it dries to the color in the bottle. So I'm really curious to see if these two match up at all when we're done. Then the skin type for the new one says normal to dry. The old one says normal/oily. I shouldn't say old, like the original camo concealer. So these are both $6, which is so freaking affordable for a concealer. I'm going to test these underneath my eyes and also over blemishes because I do have a few blemishes going on that I figured we could test this at. Sorry that took so long, but I just wanted to really dive into the different claims of these two concealers since they are very similar and just like a new formula. So let's zoom in. I do have on my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is one of my all-time favorites. I'm kind of torn. I think I want to just apply this concealer on bare skin without any like foundation or anything. I think I'm going to just put like a BB cream over top of this. Let's go in with the original on the right side and the new one on the left side, or opposite for you guys. You're right, my left. So wait, you're right, my left, my right, your left. Does that make sense? I'm going to do a swipe on the back of my hand. So this is the original concealer. This is the shade right now, and I think it's going to start drying a little darker. And then this is the concealer on my hand. So this one's definitely more liquidy. I can tell like right off the bat. The new formula definitely feels a little bit different. So I'm going to leave these on the back of my hand and see if this one does match up to this one. Okay, so I'm applying the original underneath the eye. And so this one you definitely do have to work a little bit faster. I am going to use a sponge just to blend this out. I love the coverage of this concealer. It really is great and it just covers effortlessly. It's just so quick. So that is the coverage of the original. It's amazing. It really is great. And it just like blends really nicely if you do work quickly, but that's the problem. You have to work quickly. So far, these two are still looking pretty different, which has me a little scared because I love the color of the original medium sand, and I thought I could pick the same shade and work out well, you know? So we're going to go in with this. This is definitely more lightweight. I'm trying to do the exact same amount, and I'm going to flip my sponge over and blend this way. So definitely two different colors. This is definitely darker. The new one is. Off the bat, it is definitely more hydrating. I can just tell. But I don't think the coverage is as good. Like right here is where I'm looking, and I don't think it conceals that darkness as well right off the bat. That also could be because I'm blending it with a sponge, but I'm going to put a little bit more product, and we're going to try this again. Okay, so these are definitely two different colors. They're not going to change. I can just tell already. So that right off the bat makes me sad. So I definitely would need a lighter shade in the new camo concealer, which sucks because I feel like you should be able to get the same shade, you know? Right off the bat, though, you can tell the difference in the finish, just like, right, I can tell. Like this one is definitely shinier than this one. This is definitely more matte. Like, I don't think the coverage is that different. It's definitely different, but it's not crazy. So let's try blemishes and we'll see how they compare that way. It just is driving me nuts that the colors are different. So now I'm going to take a little bit on these blemishes, and you literally don't need very much at all. Just to cover a little bit of the redness. I'm just going to use a brush. So I love the way this covers literally anything. Covers so well. And then I just make sure to dot it and then blend the edges. I never really use this concealer though when I'm doing like a completely no makeup look because it is so full coverage. Right off the bat, this one definitely feels more drying underneath my eyes. Okay, so that really canceled a lot of that out, a lot of the redness. basically covered a lot. I wasn't trying to like cover everything, but I want to get kind of a similar effect over on this side, or see if I can get a similar effect with kind of like the same amount. So I'm just gonna wipe off like the excess concealer here. Okay, so I definitely feel like they're compatible coverage wise. Although right off the bat, I didn't feel like the hydrating one was like more coverage or as much coverage. I definitely think it has a good amount of coverage and very comparable, but it's just a lot more hydrating. I just can't get over the difference of the shades. If they're called the same thing, that's just ridiculous to me that you could get completely different colors. Okay, so I'm gonna just try and put some BB cream on. We'll see if I can mask like the color difference. And then we'll put some powder on my face so that I can see like how this looks set and everything. Okay, so if you're curious, I did use the Clean Matte BB cream from CoverGirl that I love. I don't think it's as noticeable right now, the color difference, because I did like, I don't know, mask it a little bit with the BB cream, and I put a little bit of the BB cream over this side because I know how that sets very well. So I'm trying to decide what powder to use because I've been using this e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. If you want to see a review of this, I do have a video on my channel and it's phenomenal. I just like, you can see how that is in action. But I think I'm going to use my Wet n Wild setting powder because I know how that performs a little bit better than this one, simply because I've been using this powder for months and months now. I'm going to use my Real Techniques Miracle Powder Sponge and just set this. Okay, so I set that area and so far it looks basically identical and very smooth. So the only difference I can feel is that this feels more hydrating. This one just feels a little bit heavier, a little bit drier, like right around here and like my upper eye area. This one just feels more hydrating. All right, you guys, I'm all done with my makeup, as you can tell. And my final thoughts on this concealer is that I do really like it. I love the fact that it is more hydrating. This side of my face overall definitely feels like I can move it a lot better. It's not like as tight, like right up here is definitely a little bit tighter on my face because I do use a more mattifying powder. This is a Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. It's just like rubbed off. Sometimes under my eye can definitely feel a little bit dry. So I think that this is a nice way to get a hydrating concealer. Still has amazing coverage. As you can tell, like they look basically identical, which is amazing. I did say that, you know, at the beginning when I was trying it out, I didn't think there was as much coverage, but I think also it might have been the fact that they were two different colors. It was just kind of hard to tell. That is my only problem with this concealer, is the fact that they didn't match up the shades. Like, it drives me nuts. I know I've said it so many times during this video, but like, I don't understand why they couldn't make it right where like this one dries to the exact same color as this one starts or something like that. I know it's probably very difficult. I've never made makeup and I know it's like there's a lot that goes into it, but it's also annoying that they called it the exact same thing, but the shade isn't the same when it dries. That's what just drives me nuts, is that the shade name is the same, because I went into the store thinking, oh my gosh, they're the same shades. I can just pick out my same color and get the same thing, you know? So that's about it. I don't know really what else to say. I think that this is a great concealer and I would highly recommend, especially if you have like normal to oil or normal to dry skin versus like oily skin, because I think you would really, really like this. Or if you have more like aged under eyes and you're worried about, you know, it being dry under there and stuff like that. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every single week on beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. And make sure to go check out my other makeup video where I tried out a bunch of other new makeup as well. So I hope you guys like this video. I already said that, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon. Bye, guys.